The Sixers won a game. We won a basketball game, guys. Let's talk about it. What is up, guys? Welcome to the Run It Back podcast. I am your host, DJ Eastwood. Yeah, that's my new intro. You guys let me know what you think of that new intro and the adding the word podcast on the end of the name of this channel. I don't know. I think it makes it sound more official. It kind of says, hey, I'm a guy that's going to talk to you on a microphone so people can know what to expect coming in. You understand? All right, so the way I want to do this is I'm just going to do likes versus dislikes because we won the game. We beat the Nets, but let's not get all crazy. Let's not get all types of crazy and act like all the issues are solved and there's no problems anymore with this team because we beat the Brooklyn Nets with Kyrie Irving scoring 14 points on 7 of 21 at a minus 29. I'm not saying we didn't play good. I'm not saying our players didn't pull it out in the end. I'm just saying one of our main issues is inconsistency. So let's pump the brakes and hang out for a little bit, okay? I'm going to tell you the things I disliked about this game, and I'm going to tell you the things I liked about this game, starting right now as I punch my microphone. I'm just so happy about a Sixers win. I'm punching things. That's what I'm doing. Okay, things I disliked about this game. You already know what I'm going to say first. Ben Simmons refusing to shoot. I hate it. I'm always going to hate it, and I'm going to say it in every video, but I'll make it quick, okay? He refuses to shoot. Guys, he scored 12 points in the first quarter, and I thought, Ben's about to go off. He's about to get in his zone. He's about to get, he might get overly confident in his game and just start pulling jump shots. No, it didn't happen. He scored 12 in the first because they were playing way too close to him on the perimeter, and they weren't double-teaming. And Ben Simmons, one-on-one on the perimeter, can blow by any player in the NBA. He's just that quick with the ball. It's not rocket science. He's just that quick. He can blow by anybody in the NBA. That's how he scores his points. Still scored 20 in the game. But he was on pace for a 50-point game. I mean, he was all over the place in the first quarter. And then they adjusted because teams always adjust. I don't know why they don't just start playing like that off the bat, but they adjusted. They started playing 15 feet off of him, all the way in the paint, not guarding him at all. He would bring the ball up. He would be so wide open at the top of the key, but he wasn't even looking at the rim. And it was to the point where Brett took him off the ball, basically, and had him forcing handoffs to Josh Richardson, forcing handoffs to Korkmaz, and took him completely off of the ball. And his points slowed down, obviously, because he's one-dimensional. He's great at what he does, but it's one dimension that you can easily put a stop to. You saw it 2 years ago in the playoffs against the Boston Celtics. Oh, this is how this guy plays? Hey, guys, let's try this because there's only one element to his game, his offensive game. All we got to do is play back here and clog the paint, and then he can't do anything because he won't shoot it. So that's what they did, and his points slowed down. Lucky for us, the other players on our team were hitting shots. So that's something I didn't necessarily like about the game. I didn't like it gets to the point where they're playing so far off of him, they're literally double teaming the guy he's trying to hand the ball to. He's handing the ball to a guy in a panic, and they're double teaming the guy that's about to get the ball. It just looks weird to me. The offensive structure when this happens, my brain can't wrap around it. It doesn't look like basketball to me. It gets really weird. And then it gets to the point where Ben's bringing the ball to half court and handing it to Josh Richardson already at half court because he knows this weird stuff is going to happen if I go up to the three-point line. So at that point, what's the point of even playing him at point guard? If you know he can be valuable off the ball and you don't want him on the ball anymore because the way they're playing, why don't you just have Josh Richardson bring the ball up the floor? Or a point guard. I digress. I think Ben Simmons should play alongside of a point guard for these exact reasons that I'm listing, but it is what it is. Another thing I didn't like about this game, Al Horford. Oh my God. That contract is looking so bad. Al Horford's contract is looking so bad. Al Horford's not a spot-up shooter. He's not a stand around, catch the ball, and shoot it kind of guy. Boston used him as a center, as a pick and roll, and a pick and pop. How many times in this offense have you seen Al Horford run a pick and roll? I'll wait. I got all day. Actually, I want to watch the Aaron Hernandez documentary on Netflix, so I got to get this video over with soon, so I'm not going to wait that long. How many times have you seen Al Horford run a pick and pop? Al Horford with the Celtics killed us on pick and pops, partly because Brett Brown's philosophy or whatever has his players playing the worst pick and roll defense in the entire existence of the universe. But Al Horford killed us on the pick and pop. He catches the ball off after setting a screen. He's in rhythm. He steps in. He shoots it. He's not a guy that stands around the three-point line with everybody else standing around, and they swing the ball to Al Horford and he shoots it. That's not what kind of player he is, and it's blatantly obvious. He has the worst numbers of his career right now. But he kind of gets lost, doesn't know what else to do because the offense is so clunky and weird and awkward, and he just keeps shooting it. And at one point I was like, if Al Horford keeps jacking up jump shots, I'm going to dive headfirst into traffic because I can't handle it. I also didn't like, you guys can roast me for this, and some of my followers are big supporters of this guy, and I'm not a hater of him at all. I didn't like Brett forcing Furkan Korkmaz in this game. Now, Furkan Korkmaz had a good game. He made some shots. And that's the value that he has. When he's hot, he makes shots. When he's cold, he gives you nothing. I get that. What I'm saying is there was like once Brett took Ben off of the ball in the second quarter, it was the whole offense was centered around Furkan Korkmaz. And I don't have a good feeling about that. That's what Brett used to do with J.J. Redick. Furkan Korkmaz is not J.J. Redick. It worked in this game because he made some shots, but what I'm saying is in the future, if your plan is to center your offense around Furkan Korkmaz, you are in trouble. I didn't like the fact that Ben Simmons was the hardest worker on his team the whole game. I mean, I was telling someone next to me, like, bro, Ben is working his ass off and everybody else is stinking it up. I guess that's a good thing. Something that I liked about Ben Simmons, but the rest of the team wasn't doing much the whole game. Tobias Harris was hitting shots. But Al Horford just kind of ruined the image of this game for me. I thought we were going to lose, and I thought I was going to freak out on YouTube about Al Horford, but we pulled it out because we rely on the guys in the middle. Once they shut down Ben Simmons, obviously Al Horford's not going to make a difference in the game playing the way he's playing. We rely on Tobias Harris and Josh Richardson and Furkan Korkmaz, and they pulled it out for us. Things I liked about this game. Tobias Harris was great. I love that. I'm sure you guys love that. Tobias Harris is in these Sixers Facebook groups, obviously. Sixers 24/7. He's in there. Tobias Harris is in there reading the stuff. Oh, you guys all want me traded, huh? Because I had a bad game. Tobias Harris watches my YouTube channel. Oh, this idiot DJ Eastwood Run It Back podcast wants me traded because he says I'm not worth the contract I got. Watch this. And then he comes out and lights it up. It's something about being at home for these guys with the jump shots. The jump shots go in the hoop when we're at home. The jump shots are abysmal, horrible, atrocious, the worst thing I've ever seen when we're away. I can't figure out why, but that's just the way it is. Like I said before, Tobias Harris is a jump shooter. When he's making his shots, he's great. When he's not making his shots, he doesn't offer a whole lot. So he was making his shots today, and he scored 34 points, and that's great. We would need more consistency to be able to win games with this style and team structure. The problem is the inconsistency. So I'm not going to get too high on this. I'm not going to think, oh, Tobias Harris is back and now he's going to earn that contract, because I know in my heart in 2 days their jump shots aren't going to fall anymore. They're going to run out of things to do, and they're going to rip my heart out of my chest again. So I'm not getting too high on this. One thing I absolutely loved about this game was Ben Simmons' on-ball defense. And it's actually the reason we won the game. Ben Simmons' on-ball defense is so good, dude. And I know I probably don't talk about it enough, because I talk about all the things that I wish he would do, and him not shooting a jump shot and all this stuff offensively that I wish he would do. And I stand by my point that you don't draft a defensive player number 1 overall. But his on-ball defense is incredible. It's fun to watch. There's not a lot of times you watch a basketball game to see good on-ball defense. Like, oh, I'm going to watch this primetime game. Hopefully I see a lot of really good on-ball defense, because players don't play defense in the NBA. Ben Simmons plays defense, bro. He is on your hip. And he's so big and quick. He's so good at moving his feet. He's so good at reading what the offensive player is doing. He is hip to hip with you as soon as you catch the ball, and you can't do anything. Kyrie Irving had a horrendous game, especially in the fourth quarter, mostly because of Ben Simmons. Spencer Dinwiddie scored points the whole game, but when it came down to the fourth quarter, Ben Simmons was a brick wall. And these dudes couldn't get around him. They couldn't get around him. They couldn't score on him. There was a baseline drive by Dinwiddie. Simmons just rides his hip all the way around to the other side. He tries to turn it around with the ball. Ben's there like a brick wall. He has nowhere to go, and he just drops the ball out of bounds because that's it. There was a shot clock violation. There was so many amazing defensive plays by Ben Simmons because of the way that he moves his feet, and he's bigger than you. It's almost not fair. So this guy's bigger than me, and he moves better than me, so what am I supposed to do? I can't score on Ben Simmons. You can't. These little guards almost can't score on Ben Simmons. So I like that a lot about this game. Obviously, we pulled out the victory because Kyrie Irving was horrendous and Tobias Harris showed up to play. The referees tried to hand it to him a couple times. I mean, some really, really just bad calls. The Tarion, is it Tarion Prince or is it Damari Carroll? I can never tell them apart. I'm not trying to be, they kind of look the same to me. Anyway, the guy carries the ball, first of all, no call, takes 4 entire steps, no call, and they give him a foul call. And there was a couple of flops by Kyrie Irving that were called fouls that I didn't like. But we pulled out a win. And we didn't shoot 50% from 3. We only shot 36. So that is a good sign. Like I said, we can only win when we shoot 50% from 3. They proved me wrong here because they didn't shoot great from 3. They shot 36. So maybe that's all we need. Just don't shoot 12%. I've never seen, not just talking about this game, but the most recent games, I've never seen an NBA team miss wide open shots the way we miss them. I mean, wide open shots. I played basketball. I'm sure a lot of you guys played basketball. When you're wide open, you have time to read the whole thing. You have time to sit there and concentrate. You have time to sit there and think about your form. Okay, I'm going to get my legs in it. I'm going to pop my wrist. I'm going to follow through. I'm going to look the rim all the way in. Boom, it goes in. I feel like wide open shots are kind of easy to make for most basketball players, especially NBA players. So how in the world do we miss so many wide open shots? So as long as we shoot 36% and not 12%, I think we might be okay. I'm not gonna say we're gonna go to the NBA Finals or win the East or anything like that because I still hate the roster construction. We need a point guard, we need more shooters and all that kind of stuff. And we'll see if Elton Brand makes a move at the deadline to get more shooters on this team because teams are going to continue to do this to us, force us to shoot shots, and we have to make them. I mean, they leave us wide open because they clog the paint to shut down Ben Simmons because You have to shut down Ben Simmons or he's going to score 45 points on you without even shooting a jumper because he's unstoppable one-on-one when you play that far out. So they have to play in the paint, clog the paint, stop Ben Simmons, and then everybody's wide open shooters. And he had 11 assists because people made their shots. So yes, it is a different game when people make their shots. I still don't like a lot of things that Brett Brown does. I still don't like the fact that he forces Ben Simmons to be a point guard even when he takes him off the ball. Okay, Ben's being shut down in the half court. He can't do anything at the top. He has to hand it off to somebody, but I'm still going to have him bring it up the floor and hand it to Josh at half court? Is that a mentality thing for Ben Simmons that Brett just won't say, all right, Ben, you're not playing point guard anymore. You're playing power forward. Josh is going to bring the ball up the floor. Like he won't. That's honestly what I think it is. He doesn't want to tell Ben Simmons that he's not the point guard anymore. So he sets up these plays for Ben to take 3 dribbles to half court and then hand it to another player. It's just weird to me. It doesn't look like basketball to me. I'll never understand it. There's a system in my mind. There's basic basketball in my mind. And when these things happen on the floor, it's awkward. I don't like what it looks like. I'm like, what am I watching? But as long as the players make their shots, especially the wide open ones, we have a good chance of winning these games. And if Josh Richardson, Matisse Thybulle, and Ben Simmons can shut down the guards in the fourth quarter like they did tonight, we can win these games. Let me know in the comments what you think. Can the Sixers turn it around? Can the Sixers get on a little bit of a winning streak here? Can the Sixers get things together and look like a much better team than they looked like in the past, 5-7 games? Let me know what you think. Do you think Elton Brand's going to make a trade at the deadline? Obviously, he's not going to trade anything major right now. And like I said, if the season fails, I think they're going to fire Brett Brown and try somebody else and all that stuff. So no major trades are going to happen. But do you think he's going to make a trade to bring a Davis Bertans in here or a Bogdanovich or did I say his name right? Bogdanovich? I feel like there's 15 Bogdanoviches in the league. You know I'm talking, the guy from the Kings. Anyway, do you think he's going to make a trade to put some more shooters on his team? Do you think he's going to maybe get a ball handler, maybe get a backup point guard so he's not forced to play Raul Neto, who he prefers over Trey Burks still for some reason? You know what? I wanted to say that too. Trey Burke had kind of a bad game last game. And Brett Brown used that as the perfect opportunity to never play him again. It frustrates me because in that Cavs game where Ben scored 34 points in the first in 3 quarters and shot a wide open 3 and hit numerous jump shots, it just looked like he was finally unleashed. And 21 minutes out of that game, 26 minutes out of that game, Trey Burke was on the floor with him. I think Ben Simmons is so well complemented by a point guard like that. And I don't think Brett Brown completely understands it for some reason. But we won the game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I being too negative? Or am I being safe because I don't want to get my heart ripped out 2 days from now? My name is DJ Eastwood. This is Run It Back Podcast. You guys have a blessed night. I will talk to you very soon. Peace.